Hello everyone, Jay Whitner here with Space Headlines. We do a weekly recap of what's going on in the space universe, and today we're going to be talking about the fourth week of December 2018. Our first item is the Space Frontier Act. While the Space Frontier Act did get good support from the Senate, it did not fare so well in the House. And what this act would have done, had it passed, would be to streamline regulations about commercial space activities and also to extend the operational lifespan of the International Space Station. This bill was processed under suspension of rules guidelines to save time because this Congress is coming to an end. And under these rules, a 2/3 majority would have been required in the House to pass this bill. So even though it got good support, it didn't quite get the 2/3. And with the closing out of this Congress, all the bills pending before the Congress go away. So while this may be resurfaced and brought forth again in the next Congress, it's basically starting over again. SpaceX had a good launch of a GPS satellite by Lockheed Martin. So this launch took place from Cape Canaveral, and it took all the horsepower that the Falcon 9 could bring to bear to get the satellite in the right orbit. So there was no attempt to save the first stage and recycle it as they normally do. It was the 21st launch of SpaceX for 2018, which was a record for the company. The prior record had been 18 launches for a year, and this year they got 21 in 2018. And SpaceX has some big doings planned for 2019. We should be seeing the Crew Dragon fly for commercial crew. We should be seeing the Falcon Heavy flying a few times in 2019. And so a big year coming for SpaceX. And SpaceX again. This piece is about the BFR Starship. If you have not caught the latest name changes on this, the upper stage of BFR is called the Starship, and they've been working on their prototype to do some hopper tests, like they did with the Falcon 9 back when they were working on landing the first stage. So what the news is they're doing some stainless steel for the skin of this prototype. And it's made of a proprietary steel alloy that SpaceX scientists have developed. And these hopper flights are planned for 2019, so it'll be happening in the pretty near future. And Mr. Musk has done some tweets and communications that talking about stainless steel and how the benefits of this particular alloy of stainless steel might make it actually better than carbon fiber for high temperature use. And for the Starship to re-enter, it's going to be high temperatures on this body at the reentry point, and they think that maybe stainless steel will be a better trade with special cooling to keep the steel cool, and this would perhaps make the idea of having a true heat shield system not necessary. So maybe the BFR, when it flies, the Starship might have a stainless steel skin. Next, we have some discussion on the orbital platform. This LOP-G, people call it, Lunar Orbital Platform Gateway. There's been a lot of discussion about this. What are the pros and the cons of doing this? And while a lot of the experts in space, advocates, space professionals, like the idea of having a logistics base, a little space station orbit around the moon or near the moon, the LOP-G's position, the orbit that it's in, is very unusual. A lot of people don't care for the orbit. A lot of people don't care for the very high costs that are predicted for the LOP-G. So other people are bringing forth alternatives. Most notably, perhaps Bob Zubrin, who, like he came up with his Mars Direct plan many years ago, he's come up with a Moon Direct plan using SpaceX hardware that would allow a small lunar base to be built quickly. within perhaps 5, 6 years without the need for having an orbital base. So discussions will continue. We'll see what happens with all this. But it is a significant question because as currently configured, a lot of money will go into the LOP-G. And if the benefit is not really there, it's just money lost and time lost. SpaceX again. Mr. Musk has shared with the world his opinion that there's a 60% chance that the BFR will reach orbit in 2020. So even if that slips a little bit to 2021, perhaps that's very, very soon. Just a couple of years for the BFR to reach orbit. 60% shot that this will happen. And the way he's has this aggressive time scale for this whole thing, part of it is the potential of having a stainless steel skin, which simplifies various things, like I spoke about a moment ago. Also, in terms of the engines, he had previously planned to have some of the engines be optimized for operation in vacuum, which basically means substantial modifications to some of the engines. He's now stepped back from that and would use the regular engines, and that would obviate the need to have development for a new engine design, and the stainless steel skin possibility would get us away from the problems of the carbon fiber and how it reacts to high temperatures and so forth. So very good news that the latest news is he thinks 60% chance BFR will reach orbit in 2020. Many interesting things are going to be happening in space in 2019. Some of the highlights include China is going to be landing on the moon, on the far side of the moon. No one's ever done that before. That should be happening in the first week of January, as I understand it. There's been some rumors about that. And also, we're going to see the commercial flights, hopefully by both Boeing and SpaceX, will be happening in 2019. We're going to have the 50-year anniversary of Apollo 11. Hard to believe it's been so long. The first time that people went and walked on another planetary body, the 50-year anniversary will be happening in late July. We're going to be seeing Falcon Heavy become operational. They did a flight in 2018, which was sort of a test flight with a dummy payload, which was the Starman payload. This will be operational, paid-for flights. And perhaps the initial hop test, as I was discussing before, of the BFR could start happening this year. I'd really like to see one on or near the July 20th Apollo anniversary. And the most recent thing we saw at the very end of the year was OSIRIS-REx is out at the asteroid Bennu. It's been out there for, I guess, about a month now. It just achieved orbit around this asteroid. And it is the smallest object that a spacecraft has been put in orbit around. And it's going to do a careful observation of the asteroid Bennu for about 18 months to identify where is the best place to get a sample of the asteroid. And then a sample will be collected, with the plan being that it would be returned to Earth in 2023 for analysis. The U.S. has never done this before, to get a sample of an asteroid and bring it back to Earth for testing. So this will be a very exciting thing, and this is a critical step to be in orbit around Bennu, so we can get the data for where's the best place to get this sample. That's it for our last space headlines, 2018. Hope you enjoyed our show. Check back with us in a week or so. We'll be talking about the very first week of 2019. And we'll see you then. Happy New Year.